Hello and welcome to Hard at Play. This is Roommates Gaming's new gaming-focused podcast that we're going to be putting up bi-weekly. My name is Justin. This is Josh. This is Eric. And we thank you guys for joining us. This is one of two podcasts that we're going to be putting up. This is going to be our gaming focus, where we're talking about what we're playing, what we're looking forward to, any sort of news going on with gaming. And the other podcast that we're going to be putting up is The Sausage Tray, one of Josh, Eric, and Cameron's old ventures. We're going to be kind of brushing it off and bringing it back. They'll rotate bi-weekly. Our goal is to have it up Thursday of every week and just rotate them out. But new project, we're looking forward to it, and we hope you guys hang around and enjoy this venture with us. You can find them on youtube.com/roommatesgaming, and those will be video. We are trying to figure out where we're going to host the audio versions, but stay tuned for that, and we'll keep you posted. Of course, you can also check out twitchtv.com/roommatesgaming for all of our fun stuff that we put up. On YouTube and Twitch, we put up new videos every Monday. Let's play stuff, so that's always fun. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Keep up with what we're doing and find out when we're going to be streaming, and usually do that kind of stuff on the weekend, but we try to give you a heads up whenever we can. So, all right. Today, just diving right into everything.
Let's just jump right into it.
Jump right in. We got all that housekeeping stuff out, man. It's the first episode. There's not much housekeeping to get through.
Let's just jump.
Let's just do this thing. We've been playing a lot of a couple games, as weird as that is to say in a matter of words. I've been playing a lot of Death Stranding.
Yeah.
And so is Josh. And all three of us have been playing a handy bit of Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Sword and Shield. I'm playing Shield personally, and these guys have doubled up and bought the
We're both playing
combo pack.
playing Sword and Shield at the same time.
Because we're irresponsible consumers is what we are.
Yeah.
True.
Getting that Zacian and the Zamazenta going. I'm surprised I remember those names, because usually I just don't fucking care. And to put a pin in that, because we'll be coming back to Pokemon. I haven't played a mainline Pokemon game since Game Boy Advance. Like, it's been a very long time. I'm a very dusty boy, but coming back to it, and I'm having a lot of fun. So we'll talk about that
Later on,
yes. And to get us started, let's talk about Death Stranding. Josh,
yo,
you played a lot of it.
Yeah, I have.
You are over 30 hours in?
About 30.
About 30?
Yeah, about 30 hours into the game.
And of the 13 or 14 chapters in the game, what chapter are you on, buddy? Or episode, rather?
I am 30 hours. That should be almost near completion. But that's chapter 3 that I'm in.
Yeah, the game could be beaten in 35 hours, folks. Just want to throw that out there for reference. The game could be beaten in 35 hours, and you're on chapter 3.
Yeah.
Why are you in episode 3?
Listen, pal. There are roads that need building, and I'm building them.
You're not delivering packages.
Yeah.
It depends on what they're given as a payment. Is it ceramics?
Or metal? No, I do deliver packages. Like, I'll like throw in a few deliveries when I'm out there, because it's technically a lie. I have delivered packages because I've gotten both the engineer and the craftsman to 5 stars. I don't care about the elder at all. I think I've got a 2 or 3 star for him, and he hasn't given me anything. Like,
fuck him and his hill.
Fuck him and his hill. There's no easy way to get up there, and I don't.
He chose a hill to die on.
He did. He's a cantankerous old man. But yeah, I think I'm 3 stars with him, but he hasn't like given me anything like the other ones have. Like the engineer when you give him more, when you upgrade him, he gives you the new models of the power frame, and the craftsman gives you the bolo gun upgrades. And like when I got like the old man, I didn't get anything, and I was like,
felt underappreciated.
Yeah, I was like, those assholes. They're not assholes. They're great. They're great customers.
Yeah.
They gave me stuff. and that have been very helpful for me.
Yeah.
You have done nothing but be an old ass cantankerous man.
That's just Kojima trying to teach you that relationships aren't built on what they give you. It's not what you get from the relationship, Josh.
But yeah, like, so I have done like deliveries and stuff, but like my main like goal there for a while was just building roads. Like, cause that first pylon outside the lake, not city.
Yeah.
There's that first pylon. I'm like, ooh, this is cool. You can build, like, I already knew you could build roads, but actually seeing it, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. You can build roads. And other people that are in your like server can put supplies into it and you can finish it off or start it yourself. And
the multiplayer aspect where the community contributes and puts in their different things. Yeah.
So like I'll like start some or I'll like help finish some. But yeah, I was like, I really want to build these roads because it helps get around to places really quickly. And my main goal is to get the not to blow up, but is to get at least get the road to is that South Central,
South
Knot, whatever, where the person kind of looks like Edgar Wright. He's got like a beard and like black hair, beard. That's where you get the weather mission from. To do the weather vane.
I'm gonna be honest, I can't remember. The city names in this game are, man, it's a clusterfuck because it's
like,
the
cities they're kind of weirdly named.
Port Knot, South Knot, Central Knot, West Knot, Mountain Knot. Like, I mean, you kind of get where they're supposed to be based on the preposition of the name, South Knot, Mountain Knot, but it's a cluster and trying to decipher
the names. Yeah, but I think it's like South Central Knot. It's the first
South Central Knot.
Yeah, like the South Central.
I don't think that's an actual knot, but yeah, I see what the distribution center. I think it's
the distribution center. But yeah, I've gotten to there and I have the weather mission available. So I have done deliveries, but I'm trying to get the road built to at least there because it's a bit of a bitch trying to get over that like little rocky area right outside there.
Well, let me tell you.
So I at least want to build the road there so it'll be easier to get back and forth from there.
I do have a question, like, because I knew you could build roads, but I haven't really done that up to this point, which, I mean, I'm sorry. But after talking to you about it before, you said you were putting so much time in on construction. How long does it take from when you put those materials in to when the road is complete?
It goes up as soon as all of the materials are in.
I loaded all the materials for a standing pylon for a road at that distribution center. No road.
Really? That's
all
weird.
The materials are there. It says, like, I think it was actually over.
Like everything's maxed up. Like, and it didn't.
Yeah, I think 2 bins were actually overloaded. Like they had more than it could have.
It's supposed to happen like instantaneous. Like once it's like anything else you build. Like if you're building a bridge and you put all the materials in, it starts building the bridge. The road like does a little cutscene once you finish it, and it shows the road getting like 3D printed / pulled out of the ground. But yeah, it happens like instantly.
Yeah, because I put all that stuff in because I had to make a run south of that distribution center, and I'm like, man, all those rocks suck. No road came up, and I'm like, I wonder if I'm at a point. I'm not at a point in the game where I can do this yet. Like maybe this road stretches into a different part of the chiral network that I haven't touched yet, or something like that. I wasn't sure, but I do know that getting in my truck in the game and driving over those rocks sucked.
Yeah.
A lot. And that's, of course, what I was trying to do without ruining too much for you, because you're getting there. There's a timed mission that comes up that, boy, howdy, you got to go over those rocks to the south, and you got to do it quickly.
Luckily, Josh is going to have a whole network of roads and highways.
Yeah.
Baducha network.
Yeah, I'm the one-man DOT of.
Yep.
of Kojima's.
He's been employee of the month at DOT probably 3 months running now.
I've noticed like it's funny. It's been like a week since I've been able to play, but I dove back in today, and there were fucking roads everywhere that just weren't there when I was playing. I'm like, man, this does make things so much easier.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like when you come back, like no, I guess not spoiler alert. I guess the future news. We actually played Death Stranding for an upcoming video, and when Cameron was playing, I noticed that there were a few like extra bits up that weren't there when I played last, and I was like, that's cool because I haven't played in like 2 days since Pokemon came out. That's really neat that that those things it's still going, and it's really cool to come back into the world and that like something has changed because someone has added to it, which is really neat. Yeah,
it's a lot of fun, and like when you start getting in and exploring that world, my biggest thing is, God, time falls a bitch. Like,
yeah,
it is a huge bitch.
Yeah, I used to not care, like, because I never spent too much time in Timefall. Like at the first part of the game, I would just kind of like rush through it as fast as I could. So I never really cared about the repair canisters.
Yeah.
But now that is a staple on my person. Yep. I keep a container of the spray, just like, because every now and then, like while I'm like building roads, I'm gathering a bunch of supplies. When I go to the different mule encampments, they'll be like, they have like 3 pylons there that you can take stuff that they've stolen and return it back to their people. So while I'm there, I'm like, might as well return these packages. So sometimes and it'll rain there a lot, especially the one that's near the Elder. So I'm like, these packages are going to be on me for a while, and because I'm running back and forth a bunch. So I always I make sure I have a spray can on me. So when I get to where I'm going to deliver them, I spray it right quick and then turn it in.
Yep. You're running on like, man, I picked up these 200 ceramics so I could use these later on. And all of a sudden it's like, your package is ruined. Like, son of a bitch. Like,
no, it's not graffiti.
Yeah, and it is.
Yeah, just flip it.
He's just running and spray painting. And it's like, package repaired. And like, you have incredible aim or really good luck to get a handle every time. But like I've noticed that, and you get to a certain point in the game where you do unlock like timefall shelters and things like that, and you will notice like people put those up in, not all heroes wear capes, like they put them up in just like ridiculous fucking places, and it's like, just because it fits there, you know what I mean? It barely fits in the terrain or the geography of that area of the map. But damn it, they put one there. It's like, thank you so much. It's like, because I'm stuck out here and all my shit's going to shit. But
yeah,
like,
it's real nice to like, because I haven't done that weather mission. I know you get the ability to put down the camps.
Yeah.
When you finish it, but I've seen several of them around my area, and I'm like, this is a really nice spot for this to be, because I can put my bike in here, repair it, and get it fixed up, and then go about my way.
Right.
And it's a nice addition having, the heroes of the rest of the world. I'm out here being the hero building these roads, and there's heroes out there building shelters for everybody. It's nice community coming together.
It's not really a spoiler, but the weather station in the name, checks the weather. Mm-hmm. So when you bring that on the network, they start putting forecasts on the network, so you can check 30 minutes in advance what's the weather going to be doing. And I don't trust that shit. Like the more I've used it, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna run this way and everything will be good. And then all of a sudden it's like, there was no rain here when I checked this 3 minutes ago, and it's just all pouring like everywhere. And I think part of that has to do with the frequency at which the game wants you to be introduced to BTs and things like that. Like, because you get thrown in different areas where it's just always raining.
Yeah.
But I mean, apart from that, it's I really like how the story is unfolding. I just like I said, I got to chapter 5 earlier today. I'm loving it. Like, I'm loving the way the story is unfolding. I'm not doing as much running as you are. I'm not doing a lot of deliveries, and I'm not doing a lot of DOT or public service work.
Not here being a
he's rebuilding
civil
the
engineer.
Yeah, like so.
Infrastructure.
Kojima's older games, everybody wanted to be that super soldier, right? It was always fun, and this, for the 3 years that you got dick as far as information on what Death Stranding was going to be, it's like, I guess I'm looking forward to being a postman. However, that's going to be fun. And it's like, man, I never realized I actually wanted to just chill and deliver packages. And then you somehow
standing over there in his hard hat and hazard vest.
I never realized that what I really wanted was a game about developing roads. Like,
got my blueprints on, going, yes, a good road right here.
Road Tycoon 2019.
I didn't realize I did get depressed when I stopped playing SimCity.
Like a nice bridge over this river would go great. To the point, like, I see other people's bridges go,
fucking
if you 5 feet to the right would have been a much better spot. But hey, that's you.
I saw somebody, like, I was thankful for the bridge because I needed it, but somebody didn't put it at the end of a road going toward a river. Or it wasn't a river, it was like a crevice, like one of those deep drops.
Yeah.
Which I have found that there are magnets at the bottom of those things that just pull me in every chance they get. Because if there's a crack or a ravine, for some reason, my Sam is like, let's go down there. And just dives. If I'm in a vehicle specifically, and I've tried to jump them, it doesn't work. I just nosedive in. Yep. It just floats down.
The old school Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Justin pulls out a sign, falls down to his death.
I was playing. My wife was watching me. She's like, "That's like the 3rd time in 20 minutes that you've done." I'm like, "I know. I keep fucking up, and I'm out of ladders, so I can't climb out now. I just gotta hope for the best." But like, it's fun, but it's frustrating at the same time. But yeah, I saw somebody like build a bridge, not where it was needed for this crevice, but in front of a boulder that was like 30 meters away from the road. It was like just south of the actual road. They built it where the end of the bridge came into a boulder. So if you were driving, you couldn't get onto it and you couldn't get off of it, right? So I'm like, I have to cross this bridge and I'm not leaving my truck behind. So I just took off speeding, hit a smaller rock, tap X to jump the truck, and I'm just like, hope for the best, wee, and landed on the bridge and went over. But some people just, I think they place these things where they're standing, or maybe the game, has like a placement, some sort of placement detection or algorithm. Like, all right, this is where he intends to put it, and it just goes off. But
it's when you walk up to the bridge and hit the dismantle button and go, you don't deserve that.
I accidentally dismantled
the roads.
I accidentally dismantled a sign on somebody that had like a suit. It had so many likes, and it was like a positive "keep going" message.
Yeah.
Or no, there were two signs. Sorry, it was one of them was like in a small cave, so I could be protected from timefall. And there was the sign for that, and there was the sign for, just, keep up the good work, keep going. And I was trying to just get into my menu, but instead of tapping start, I was holding start and like, why isn't this working? And holding start just dismantled both this dude's signs. And I'm like, whoops, he's just out here trying to help people and show them this is where they can be safe and, give them a little bit of uplift. And I just took the shit down.
And that's when you bring out your menu, put the 2 signs back up and go.
With a 3rd sign that says sorry.
Sorry. Oops.
Sorry.
My bad.
So yeah, it's a lot of fun. The multiplayer aspect is crazy. The single player story is great. And I can't wait for you to get further in it because it is a Kojima ass game. The more I say that every time we talk about it.
The more you play it, you're like, "Yep, this is definitely Kojima."
Yep, man, this shit's wild. Like,
yeah. Even though I'm only in chapter 3 and I've only done I guess not much in chapter 3, I still very much have enjoyed the story thus far. And like at first I wasn't like that into Fragile, but like once you learn more about her in chapter 3, you learn more about her, and I was like, Fragile's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
She's like one of my favorite characters.
Chapter 3 is crazy damn long. I think it's the longest chapter in the game. There is a lot more to learn about Fragile. And there's like, of course, stuff to learn about Higgs there too. And the Mads Mikkelsen character. Like that spins out of chapter 3 and in chapter 4, and it's interesting. But just my wife, who's not a gamer, but she was with us when we were sitting at my place watching E3 3.5 years ago, and she saw how excited we got when he walked out on stage. She's like, I'm back. And I'm like, so this whole time, like, she's seen us be excited about it and keeping up with it and everything, and she's like, I want to watch you play this because I want to see how good this guy is at coming up with stories. And every 10-15 minutes, she's like, what's going on? What is that? And I'm like, I don't fucking know.
I got no answers for you.
And I'm like,
This isn't how
I don't think Kojima knows. Like, he's just coming up with shit, and it's brilliant. Like, but the game's hard to follow it sometimes because everything's named either Bridge, Strand, Chiral, something.
Yep.
But it's really good, and I'm really enjoying it. And I think there's a lot of systems in that game that we'll see kind of ripple out to things in the future, not just from Kojima Productions, but I think there's a lot of things that you'll see other game developers try to
I wouldn't be surprised.
take and adapt.
Yeah, like just like the multiplayer aspect. That's not like full. Like you could totally integrate more stuff like that into like single player, like story driven games.
That
but
asymmetrical multiplayer kind of thing.
You don't actually play with anybody, but you can help your fellow players out.
Right.
Because like even like kind of Dark Souls has like that system where you can like join other people and either help them or hurt them.
And that's exactly what it is, where it's like, Dark Souls does that, hey, nice chest ahead or something like that, where it gives you that.
Except in Dark Souls, anytime you see a positive message, it's a lie. Don't believe it.
That's a trap.
Most times, yes. Most times you're playing online, it's like,
hey, nice chest ahead. Well, that's a mimic, so I'm not going to open that chest.
Or this is a magic wall, and you're all right. And why the fuck is this not? It's a lying piece of shit.
Nice chest ahead was a message that I saw before you fought Quelaag. The Spider Woman with her naked top, and I'm like,
I get what you mean.
I appreciate you, sir. That was good.
Best message in Dark Souls is time for crab. So
the best message in Dark Souls, in my opinion, is leg ? Like when you get to Firelink, and this is like a drop, like right before you fall. It's leg ? Fall. Like but yeah, I think Death Stranding is great. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm looking forward to beating it. I know my brother has beaten it.
Oh, wow.
And he's been texting me. He's like, have you finished it yet? Have you finished it yet? I need somebody to talk to about this. And I'm like, I have an idea. You come over and we'll chat about it. And he's like, no, you got to finish it first.
I don't want to ruin it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to get through this. So, I guess I need to like use some sick days or PTO time and just try to tank through it. But
yeah, I'll eventually read like a synopsis or something like that because I don't have 50 hours to build roads. So I'll do the same thing he will.
There's a 10 hour, it's just under 10-hour video of all cinematics online, like for the full story cinematic experience.
Yep, sounds like my thing.
Jesus, dude! Like
Kojima loves his cinematics.
I know, man,
but not against it. I'm there for it.
It's the most efficient way to get exposition and story out and not be just absolutely boring to the player.
Yeah, because I enjoy it because I'm also like a cinephile, and I like that he's a cinephile too. So he likes to bring a lot of those elements into his cutscenes. And like tries to make cool camera angles and edits and stuff like that. So
the two things that I see that you'd be missing in a cinematic cut from the game, like just like a trailer blanket, if you will, just like all those things pushed together or quilt. Number one would be the exposition that you get from like codec calls with Die Hardman and Mama and stuff like that. Number two, just those wholesome good moments that you have where you're walking as Sam or driving as Sam and the camera pulls back a little bit and you hear Low Roar come up and start playing.
It's the only song in the game.
Gently to you. They have like a whole album on that game from Low Roar. It's crazy. And every story checkpoint that you hit, you unlock an audio track by Low Roar, so you can listen to it later if you want to, or put it on one of those little pylons.
Yeah, I saw a social media poster from somewhere that was that said Death Stranding was just Kojima trying to get people to listen to Low Roar.
Yeah, it's like when
he's like, y'all haven't heard this band, and I think y'all need to.
Yeah. I saw somebody post. It's like when iTunes pushed that U2 album to everybody's phone.
Yeah, Kojima was just pushing the Low Roar.
Exactly. He's getting everybody to go in for it. But I mean, at this point, I'm here for it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go on iTunes, just buy their whole fucking album, and support this band.
I should check them out on Spotify.
Yeah, here we go. Just endorse the shit out of them. But I don't know, man. This game is weird. It's different, and I'm here for it, and I'm enjoying everything. I've gotten to a point where I've unlocked just a boatload of different weapons and tactics and techniques, and I'm interested to see how that changes the game going forward, because I just got to it before I stopped playing. Yeah. So we'll see how things get shaken up and go from there.
Yeah. Overall, like, final thoughts on the game that I've played thus far is I've really enjoyed it, even though, like, I'm not necessarily not like I'm into the story, but I'm not like pushing myself to keep going. I want to know more of the story, because I do. But I'm just having enough fun playing hours on end, just going and getting supplies and stuff to build roads and help people build roads and bridges and stuff like that. And like, it's like made me feel things that I've never felt. And
yeah,
and like just gives me a connection to things that I'm like, I don't really ever feel like this, but it's cool. Like if I'm like walking somewhere or driving somewhere, and I see like a bridge, or I see all the things that I've helped build, other people build and stuff like that, I'm like, this is just a nice, awe-inspiring sight. And
in summary,
that's enough to, you know.
In summary, Kojima built a game about empathy, and he succeeded.
Yeah.
You taught me empathy. Congratulations, Kojima. I didn't think it was possible.
Yeah, it's like, I think that speaks very well of Death Stranding in and of itself, that you and I are playing a game, the same game, as the same character in two remarkably different ways, and we're both enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like, we're both this. I don't know if I can hands down say this is my game of the year, but it is sure as shit a contender, just because of the investment that I want to give to it at this point. And I was on the rocks for a couple weeks before it came out. I mean, we've all talked about it, like, and gone back and forth, but I dig it in every possible way. I'm here for it. So, but
can't wait to see what he brings out next.
I know. I cannot wait for, and that's the thing. Like, we don't know if there's like a DLC plan or anything else, but anyway. So we're playing a lot of Death Stranding, but like we said, we're also playing something a little bit more wholesome. Where
I don't know if it's more wholesome.
I mean, what's more wholesome than capturing wild animals, enslaving them, and making them fight each other?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty wholesome when you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Blood sports.
Yeah. Blood sports.
It's in the game.
I forgot about all the empathy involved in blood sports.
Let me tell you something. Yamper and Nick It. I'm all in. I'm all in.
They're pretty
You know
cute.
what? I just realized how British Nicket's name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when at first we were like, oh, yeah, Nicket, that makes sense. It's a pun about stealing. And then you said it, and I think that might be the first time like I've heard it out loud while not playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain just went, wait a minute, that's the most British name ever.
Mine just evolved into a Thievel. And it came to my attention that the entire design and name of the character is based on Guy Fawkes.
Yeah.
And I love it even more now. I love that thing so much more. But yeah, I've nicknamed my Yamper Thunderbutt. And
that's adorable.
Yes, it is.
It's actually adorable.
I know. I was showing my wife my starting lineup. I'm like, look what I got. Look what I got. As soon as I filled up to 6, and she's like, again, my wife doesn't play games. She's like, these are all really cute. The next day, she's playing Pokemon. Like, just fill it up.
What was her exact reaction to Galarian Rapidash?
So I was going to buy Pokemon Sword until my wife found out that Galarian Rapidash is only in Shield. So my domestic advisor told me that we should instead purchase Pokemon Shield. So I got Pokemon Shield.
Just curious, who's your domestic advisor again?
My spouse, my wife.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So that's my term when she affects purchases and money spending decisions. So if it's economical, yes, she's my domestic advisor.
Smart.
But yes. So
what was your starter?
I went with Sobble.
Okay,
Good choice.
Good choice. Sad boy.
I wish I would have went with
Sad boy.
Grookey.
Really?
Yeah, because I can't even remember what the name of I just had Sobble evolve not too long
Drizzile.
ago. Yeah,
Drizzile.
I just had him. I just had him evolve, and I'm like, man, I actually don't want this emo lizard on my
He gets
team
better.
anymore. Does he?
He gets a lot.
Yeah, and
Okay.
Teleon looks way cooler. But yeah, I have the problem with Sobble line because Sobble looks cute and adorable, little sad boy hours, and Teleon looks really cool and slick. And then
He goes from being sad all the time.
he's definitely in his rebellious teen phase.
He's disenfranchised at this point. When he grows up, he finally understands that being an edgelord is best.
It's I have no connection to him other than the fact that, you know, water type moves are kind of just like a tank in a lot of battles. So I'll pull him out every now and then. But it's as soon as he became like this angsty, whiny teenager, I'm like, man, I don't even know if I want you anymore.
Yeah.
But I was on the fence between him and Grookey, but I went with Sobble. What'd you do?
For Shield, I went Sobble, and then for Sword, I went Grookey.
I went Sobble and Sword and Score Bunny and Shield.
Oh, you went with Score Bunny?
Score Bunny, yeah.
It's weird, but I chose those two because Score Bunny's line, all three of them look really cool to me. But Grookey and Sobble, I don't like their middle form. They have very bad like middle form. Whatever the term is for like, there's a term for Pokemon's middle stage looking like weird, but they have it real bad. Like, I don't like Sobble's middle form, and I don't really like Grookey's middle form. They just look weird. Like,
I've intentionally not looked at any move charts or evolutions.
I cannot say that.
yeah, I can't say that.
Yeah, I've intentionally not done it because I kind of just want to be surprised like I was when I was, because like I said, I haven't played Pokemon in years, but I remember being a kid and like, holy shit, this thing is evolving. What does that mean? Because I was a kid and I thought in curse words. But like holy shit, this thing's evolving. What is it going to be? And like seeing it, I'm like, oh, that's awesome. And I'm like, I want to recapture that as an adult. And that's what I'm trying to do. But so I don't know what further evolutions look like for either one, but I don't know. What else do you have? What else do you have in your lineup?
I'm using Galarian Zigzagoon for Sword. I've got Natu right now, but that's going to change. That's just a placeholder until I get farther along, until I can get the Pokemon I want. I've got Galarian Zigzagoon, which I'll probably actually keep. Right now, I got Honedge, which could be a placeholder or could be moved. I've got Grookey, the little fire Sizzlipede, yeah, that's his name. Sizzlipede, and oh my god, what is the other Pokemon? I cannot think of the name. But yeah, just another Pokemon. Oh, no, I always call him Choodle. And then on Shield, I've got Sob or Drizzle, fucking the Carcole thing. So I like its typing, and like its third form looks really cool, but the middle stage it's basically a minecart. I'm not joking. It's a mine cart full of coal.
Literally is a mine
I mean,
cart.
we've had candelabras. We got a tea kettle now.
It's a
But
mine
those at
cart
least
with a
look
face.
cool. Like those look
This
neat.
is
Like
this is literally a like obsidian black rock mine cart with coal in the back of it.
yeah. And
Is that the was it roly poly or whatever?
yeah,
it's
it's
really
its
cool.
second
Yeah,
form. Yeah.
Okay.
It gets cooler in its third form.
Yeah, its third form looks way cool. It looks like a Godzilla like monster.
Yeah.
It's like a big I guess it's like a fire type Tyranitar if you want to think about it. But yeah, it looks way cooler in its final form. But I'm trying my best to only use new Pokemon. But like I'm having a hard time making sure that happens because I don't play Pokemon game like since I know it's weird to think about, but like the first gen I played like a normal kid, like because it came out when we were normal kids. But
Then everything changed.
But then everything changed because Diamond and Pearl, Gold and Silver still came out when we were kids, but like something changed in me after playing Red, Blue, and Yellow. I was like,
You had to be the very best.
Yes.
Like no one ever was.
So since Silver and Gold,
he saw boobies for the first time and he was a man.
yeah, and I was a man at that point. I was like, oh yeah, Pokemon's fun. I know how to beat Pokemon with numbers. But I play it like I'm like, that's why me and Eric both can't say that we haven't looked, because when the leaks came out, I looked at every single Pokemon and looked at their typings and went, cool, now I just need the information about their move pools so I can decide which Pokemon are the best to use.
I was building a team like 2 weeks before the game released.
Yeah, because I build teams, like, so I'll look at all the Pokemon and go, all right, that's good. What moves can they learn? All right, yes, I'll teach them this. They'll have perfect coverage, and I'll try to make sure like they have this kind of nature. Sometimes the nature I'll throw it away if I don't really care. I'm like, this nature is fine enough. I'll use it.
I don't go that in depth with it. I don't care too much about natures, and I sometimes look up moves, but it really just depends if like I'm still on the fence about like having this Pokemon on my team. I'm like, well, we'll look at its moves, make sure I can get a good move set on it, and then I'll make my decision.
So do you do like a focused type team, or do you kind of just have a little bit of everything?
Not normally. Normally, I try to make a well balanced team. But actually, in Shield, I'm trying something new where I'm eventually my dream team is going to be two types or based on two types. And they're my two favorite typings in all of the games, Psychic and Dragon. As long as my Pokemon have those typings, I'm gonna do 3 Psychics and 3 Dragons, and I'm gonna go through as a Psychic and Dragon trainer.
There you go.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think he posed that question in our
I was looking through all the Pokemon you can catch in the game, and I was like, there are a lot of really good and really interesting Pokemon in here. A lot of them I really like the typings on them, and a lot of them are Psychic and Dragons, which are my favorites. I kind of want to do either an all Psychic or an all Dragon run, and then I eventually decided I'll do my normal playthrough on Sword, and I'm gonna do a Psychic Dragon run on Shield.
But yeah, like he posed that like idea, and he's like, I think I might try this, because at first I think he was like, I might go Sword with one type and Shield with one type, and then he eventually came to that conclusion, and like that started making me think about it and I was like, I could do that, but there's so many like new Pokemon I want to try, so it's hard for me to do that. But on my Sword playthrough, like I just like customize what I look like. I just went to a shop here recently and changed how I look, and there's like a varsity jacket that's purple and green, and it's poison themed, and poison is one of my favorite typings, and so is dark. They're like two of my
Sap and tap. That's the way I do it, bro.
But yeah, the poison and dark are two of my favorite I guess not element types in the game, and I was like, I could easily do in this game because there's a bunch of psychic there's a bunch of dark and a bunch of poison Pokemon in this game as well. To balance for fairy, or poison to balance for fairy.
I'm really glad they chose poison to balance too.
Yeah, because like I said, it's been one of my favorite types since
it's a very good type.
The beginning, because Gengar is one of my favorite Pokemons of all time, and he happens to be Ghost and Poison. But I was trying to think of like, because my guy looks really like a poison type player right now because I'm using that varsity jacket and I'm black everything else, and I'm like, he looks like a hip, like Poison type gym leader. Somebody's like one of the not too flashy designs, but he looks like he could totally pull off that. I'm the more I think about it, like I know 6 Pokemon I could do for Dark and Poison. Like if I wanted to, I could do what Eric's doing, but I really like the team that I'm creating right now with what I've got. So I don't know if I want to just abandon all of these Pokemon to go, nope, I'm a Poison and Dark type trainer now.
Playing like I was a child, like because again, I haven't played since the GBA, and I don't remember any of those.
Ruby and Sapphire. That's Gen 3.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It is Gen 8 now.
Yeah, I don't remember those.
Is it 7 or 8? Are we 8?
I think we're 8 now.
Yeah, 8. Yeah.
I only remember the original 151 and maybe like 12 after that.
I'm pretty sure my brain is just Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm terrible with names, but if you describe a Pokemon to me, I can think of its name.
Yeah, for real. Like if we wanted to play a game right now, like name.
Well, surprise, Josh. No.
Dang, I was hoping if I segued to that, we'd have a game.
Who's that Pokemon?
Hey, I know that.
Hey, shit, that is a game.
Yeah, shit.
Flashcards. Well, fuck. Now we got to do it.
Yeah. All right.
Restart the timer.
Restart the timer. We're gonna do the podcast over. Let's make some flashcards right quick
from the top. Like I'm going through this and I walk through a bush. Ooh, I'm gonna catch that. Ooh, I'm gonna catch that. Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch that. Literally catching everything I come across.
Mm-hmm.
If I can.
Yeah.
And I've had like 3 or 4 escape from me, but my main team right now has been of course, my sad bitch boy Drizzle, Lombre. I have my Lotad and evolved him into Lombre, and he's fantastic for me because I just leech other people's health and just let him do his thing. And
Dude, they made leech life so good in the past gens.
It's been so nice just sapping people away, and I finally caught a Growlithe because Growlithe and Arcanine are historically my 2 favorite. Like, it's my favorite Pokemon lineage. Like, when you think about it,
they're good Pokemon.
They're so goddamn cute. But so I have him in my team. Of course, I have my Nickit, and I've got my Yamper, and I have another Pokemon that I guess I don't care about that much because I can't remember which one it is. Wooloo.
Oh, fuck Wooloo.
Yeah. Because
you say fuck Wooloo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, my fluffy girl is a tank. Like,
I'm only saying fuck Wooloo because in both of my games, it took me forever to find one.
Really?
Yes.
When you first leave your home, and
Yes,
it's like
Route 1. I know.
that whole path right there.
Yep. It took me forever to find one.
There were 7 when I was leaving my house. Yeah.
In Sword, because Sword's the one I started on, and
okay.
I've gotten 2 badges in 2 badges in Sword when I finally decided, man, I should start Shield. But in Sword, I went all the way through Route 1, all the way to Route 5 or whatever it is. The wheat fields outside of the first place where you get your badge. Wooloos are supposed to be there as too. Went all the way through that. Never saw one in Sword. I actually had to specifically turn back and go back there after my second badge to get a Wooloo.
Yeah, I'm playing on Shield. As soon as you walk out of your house and like walk right down the path past hops, they're everywhere right there. They were in my game at least. Yeah. And I had no interest in catching one. I only caught one to put a 6th Pokemon in my roster. And when I got him, I'm like, all right, we're going to go in for this. I don't buff. I've never buffed.
Yeah, neither have I.
But
I normally 4 attack moves.
Yep. I go in, defense curl, and then it's just like, all right, so I'm an unstoppable fluff force now. And then hit tackle, and it's just like a third or a half a health bar disappears because he is a fluffy, cuddly little wrecking ball.
I have to excuse myself.
You okay?
Oh, no, I am not. Okay.
Oh, no.
So,
short break.
All right. Sorry about that. Coming
Technical
back from
difficulties.
Yep, personal difficulties. So we're coming back now. I was getting ready to bring up the fact that I'm 5.5 hours in to Pokemon Shield, and I just got my first badge. Like, just locked that shit down. So that's a long time. Is that kind of on par with the last couple of releases?
Well, Sun and Moon didn't have gyms, so yeah, they had gym trials. Or not gym trials, island trials. There were no gym leaders.
Okay.
So they didn't have the badges and stuff like that.
I'm guessing people didn't respond well to that.
Some did. Some
There was a small,
I remember people being in arms about it, of course, because I mean that's one of the best things about Pokemon is fighting the new gyms and seeing the types and stuff. But I didn't mind it, but I definitely missed gyms. Having gyms back, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah,
I did like the little the little bit of ingenuity that they had to bring something new to it.
Gym challenges.
But the trials and stuff like that. But I did miss gyms. Having gyms back is much better than what they did. But they kind of brought the island trials back in a way because they made the puzzles for the gyms more complicated, kind of like how,
which I appreciate.
How they're not super complicated, but it's more than just flip some switches and go, or just fight through a few,
or the teleporter switch lottery that is the psychic gyms.
Oh God. Yeah, hurting Wooloos and things like that.
But they've added the gym missions, so it's kind of we brought back we brought back the island trials in a new way by improved on how gyms work by adding features from Sun and Moon into. That's what it at least feels like to me. They're let's kind of simplify, because some of the island trials were already pretty simple. That's why I was why not just have a gym leader? Because they're basically kind of like the puzzles in the gym anyways, and then you fight the totem Pokemon. And yeah, sometimes they were difficult because they got a buff to boost and they could bring in Pokemon. But I would still have liked to fight gym leaders. But it's kind of neat that you can go back and the island captains, you can challenge them. I think you can challenge all of them later on. You just hey, you want to fight me? But yeah, I like how they changed the gyms. You do the mission first, and then you can fight the actual gym leader. So it's they combine them too.
I thought that was like I said, it's been a long time since I played Pokemon, but
for the most part, it only really takes an hour or so, hour to 2 hours to get to the first gym. Just kind of varies on which game.
And how long you spend in the wild area and shit like that.
But I'm talking about older games.
Okay.
It could take an hour to 2 hours to get to your first gym and actually beat them, but it really just depends on how long you take your time grinding. Because in the older ones, there was a bit of grind, well, Brock's gonna destroy most of my team, unless you got Squirtle, then you just go, or Bulbasaur, which I had Squirtle and Charmander because I've had every game. I'd always get both of them. That's why I bought them both. This go around, I normally always buy both. I don't know why, just cause basically so I can play them twice in two different ways if I wanted to.
I do wish you could have multiple save files on one.
Nice.
Yeah,
it would be nice because the way you have to do it now, since there's no quick reset like there is, and there have been in newer ones where you put a button combo, you up and XB, I think is how you reset the newer ones. But you can't do that for Sword and Shield. You have to go to the data management and delete your save data because the game doesn't have a start menu. It just goes straight into the game once you start it up, which is neat. But at the same time, I don't want to have to go all the way to data management. If I'm I want to play a new game, or if I finally go, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do a psychic or a ghost, damn it, a poison and dark playthrough. I don't want to have to go all the way to data management, delete my save data.
It would be nice at the very least there was an option to
do a quick open up
either the quick reset,
open up the menu, open up the your menu, and then hold down some of the buttons, and it goes, "Are you sure you want to delete your data?"
Well, if you wanted to have an auxiliary playthrough, not necessarily replace your current one, you could use one of your profiles.
Yeah, I could use another profile.
Yeah. Because that's what my wife did. Because we only have the one Switch, she just jumped on her profile, and it didn't affect mine at all. Yeah. So that, I guess that's an option. If
that is true. If I wanted to, if not without having, that is true. Then I've got 3 profiles for my Japanese account, my European account.
I was like, that gives me like 4 save files.
Yeah, I just figured out how to start my Grookey gang. So in that conversation,
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't think about that.
there you go. The more you know, folks.
Maybe that's why they didn't bother with it.
I mean, that's
We're
true.
gonna have
Like,
multiple
well, you're gonna
profiles,
have
who cares?
multiple profiles. You could just, you know,
That actually,
play a different profile.
Goddamn. Welcome to console gaming. So we had a lot of conversation about, like, through our Discord and our text chat and everything else about Sword and Shield.
Yeah,
Like, a lot of conversation. Because
heated.
very heated, very aggressive conversation that I muted on multiple occasions because I, like I said, was kind of out of the loop, but cautiously optimistic. I'm like, man, some of this is kind of making me not so looking forward to the game now, but I'm glad that I hung in and actually decided to give this a shot. Eric, I'm going to start with you. How are you feeling about Sword and Shield versus both recent and further past titles? Are you liking this game? Like, there was a lot.
There are definitely better Pokemon games, but I am 100% supportive of this one.
You're talking about Stadium and Pokemon.
Oh, of course. Those
Snap,
are the
right?
only ones that matter.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Heart Gold and Soul
Mystery
Silver are the
Dungeon.
best Pokemon at me.
But no, there are definitely easily 3 or 4 Pokemon games I could think of right now that are better than this one.
Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
But I mean, like I've actually at undisclosed retail store where I work, I've actually had people like come up to me and be like, "Hey, have you played Pokemon?" And I say yes, and they'll go, "What do you think?" Because of all the controversy, they don't know what to think anymore. And I'm like, I mean, it's a Pokemon game. If you've liked them up to this point, you're gonna like this one. Like, there's nothing to really dislike about it. Sure, there's things to be disappointed in, but it's still a fun game.
Disappointed in specifically the Pokedex.
I am not.
He doesn't care about
I
it.
don't care about the National Dex at all.
You were salty about
Like
that.
even back in the day where like I was a kid and all these new Pokemon were like, oh, I gotta get that. Oh, I gotta catch these. Once I would like fill up the regular Pokedex or like the National Dex was introduced to me, I'd be like, why would I do? I've already beat the game. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do the Battle Tower or Battle Frontier or Battle Mansion or Battle Resort. All the different
Battle
things.
locations.
Yeah, the battle locations. But like I've never cared that much about the National Dex. There are certain things that like me and him have talked about where I'm like, I would like that to be in this game, but they're not so monumental or significant that they significantly change my experience in the game.
Do you think this is a good foot in the door for Pokemon on a console versus being handheld specific?
I'd like to think so. But with the controversy of this one, I'm not so sure.
I know there was like fan art going around a long time ago, like conceptual fan art of it was like a third person view of, you know, the Pokemon trainer character looking out over like a vast field, mountain range and stuff like that, where it kind of looked like Breath of the Wild, but for Pokemon. And I think that kind of set people's expectations on what we could expect to see.
The idea of taking a handheld game and putting it on a console, obviously logic says that game should be bigger, better, have more stuff in it. But it's still fun.
I think that's what the wild area kind of end up being, is their compensation for that big open world area.
Yeah.
But
Like
Nintendo did not make Pokemon, right? Nintendo proper made Breath of the Wild. Like, those are two very different approaches and companies approaching games, and Game Freak tackles little projects very well. But it's weird to see. It's not really weird, but it's good to see them take some steps in the direction. And like I said, as a detached, estranged fan, I liked it. But
yeah, like my thing is like, this is a good, I guess, jumping off point. But obviously, my true a vision of a first console game would be something on par or Granted, they're probably bigger / somewhat better because there's obviously more Pokemon you can catch and a little bit more expansive story. But like something like Colosseum or XD Gale of Darkness, where it was a story-driven game with a big, open, like vast world with, like granted, it was very like, what is the word I'm looking for? A narrow or not linear focus kind of thing where it wasn't like, oh, you could just go around routes and stuff. It had those small little route area and stuff like that. But you know, since we already had somewhat kind of like games like that, like I would want something like that. But Game Freak didn't make those. It was another party that helped make the game, but you know, Game Freak, I don't want to say they're lazy, or I just feel like they're kind of inexperienced. Like they like to do small things.
Yeah.
And they kind of are lazy. They like to take shortcuts, and if they don't have to do something new, they would rather not have to do it.
Yeah, they've never been a company to put a lot of polish or take a lot of time on a game.
They try. That's why I don't want to say lazy, because it kind of seems lazy from the outside, because there have been plenty of professional students, regular people that have coded and programmed better animations, better frameworks and stuff like that than Game Freak has for this new game, which is basically just a 3DS upgrade.
Well, that's actually a good point. Because when you think about,
it's not like their team is small.
They've made incremental updates to limited performance handheld software for a long time.
Yeah, that's why I'm look. Hopefully,
they polish assets and polish assets and polish assets. They don't build new ones. They just polish what they had, which makes sense from their perspective. So if Nintendo comes in hey, we have this new console out, and surprise, surprise, we promised somebody you were going to have a Pokemon game on it by the end of 2019. And these guys are probably shitting their pants. Okay, so now we have to build assets, and I guarantee you somebody made the executive decision, let's just polish what we got.
I mean, that's why I'm fine with what we have, but now that they're on a new console with new limitations, with better stats that they can actually try to improve, I would hope that they would internally go, maybe we should try new things, go bigger, because we have the capability. It's not like we're limited to a handheld where we're at first we were doing these shortcuts and stuff because, well, it's a handheld. We don't have a lot of power. Right. We need to try to bring as much cool things as we can with the limited power that they did. And some of the older games, they would do that very well. They're let's try to max this thing out as much as we can with their animated sprites and stuff like that. And the type of sound files that they would use for how Pokemon's voice works is really ingenuitive, whatever. But now that they're on a new console, yes, the first one I'm totally okay with. Granted, I would always want more, but Game Freak only had 2 years to do this.
Yeah.
And then now that they have more time, a new Pokemon game probably won't come out in a year or two.
No.
But they still have a lot to work with. So I'm hoping internally they go, now that we have this new vehicle to make Pokemon games, maybe we should try to push ourselves. Obviously, this one was, we only had a limited time. Someone's play this game, do it. All right, we only have.
Yeah.
Let's.
I would just like to point out that Little Town Hero is a game by Game Freak made specifically for the Switch, and it is the same level of polish and effort that Pokemon is. So keep that in mind. They don't put a lot of polish on their
games. Well, they also had to split their team up.
I mean, that's true. But like you said, their team's not small.
That make 2 different games at once.
I just think it kind of, to me, looks like that team being split the way it was and everything else, a little overwhelmed by the amount of work and the expectations.
That's why for the next ones, next gen should be better, should not be using the same assets from the 3DS, same models and animations. You have more time.
Yep. Hire people that are experienced.
Be hey, Nintendo, can we use other you have other companies that are with you, like the team that does the that is, well, they're obviously working on Metroid, but that team.
Hey, Retro, what am I?
Yeah, why don't you help us out? Y'all have helped other games.
God.
Y'all have helped other games be made, so why don't you have someone else help us out? Or it could be Game Freak, like, no, this is ours. But it also seems like Game Freak, especially Junichi, is just like, I'm kind of tired of Pokemon. Yeah.
I would not be surprised if every veteran member there is just tired of making the same game over and over again and then getting yelled at by the community because it wasn't the game they wanted.
Yep. Entitlement kind of thing. Yeah. Like,
it's not necessarily entitlement to want a better product if you're a consumer. That's how capitalism works.
Well, true.
You complain about something, because sometimes it is just stupid. Like, some of the people talking about the problems are being asinine about it. Like, the National Dex is a problem, like, not a big problem for me. It's just the way that they handled it was a little sloppy. They could have been better about the wording, or people could have better translated what they were trying to say.
Game developers are not good at interviews. They're there to try to answer questions as quickly and clearly as possible without telling you anything about the game.
That's what PR is.
And unfortunately, game developers don't usually have a great PR team.
No.
But, like, I'm fine with Sword and Shield. I'm having a lot of fun. And one of the things that I had a problem with at the beginning I thought was kind of lame, and I don't really like any of the new gimmicks that they've ever introduced, since I didn't really care for Megas. I hate Z moves. They're stupid. And when they first introduced Gigantamaxing and Dynamaxing, I was like, I don't care. But I still don't necessarily care about it. But I love the max raid battles. I love being able to play with people online and take down a gigantic Pokemon.
I haven't done a raid battle yet.
But I like that. That's basically why I spend most of my time in the raid area, or the wild area, is doing raid battles. I'll go to the dens and fight the big Pokemon and then go on somewhere. But that is one thing that's kind of neat. I like that aspect of the game, and I'm not knocking the game. There are little things I could nitpick about the game all day, but it's not going to make me go, this is a terrible game. It's still going to be like an 8 out of 10, 7.5 out of 10 for me.
Is it the communal thing that you like about or about the raid battles?
I don't know. What about it? I just like fighting the big old Pokemon.
That's what I was going to say. If they took the big old Pokemon out of it, like if they took the Gigantamaxing away from that and it was a raid battle against a legendary,
that would be cool as shit.
Yeah, like
it's basically they're adding Go elements to the game.
Yeah.
Where, because like even like in the raid battles in Go are all legendaries. Like, I'd be cool with that too.
Yeah.
Which I feel like they're going to, because someone did a man in the game and found all the legendaries.
Oh, yeah. I would be 100% sure.
All of the
you're gonna have raid. Either they're going to be event Pokemon where you get them through connecting to the internet, or they're going to be put into raid battles.
Yeah. I would kind of expect that myself.
Yeah, which is totally fine. But I'm not saying I don't like Sword and Shield. I just would like to see them try to improve in the next games.
But you think it's a good first step?
Yes.
Overall? Okay.
I think it's a first good step, and I would just like to see them improve, because any game that I enjoy, I want the next one
that's fair. You want it to be better. Yeah.
I don't want to pay for the same thing over and over again.
Or a step down.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't feel like that's entitlement to want, as a consumer, want something that you purchase to be better than the last thing that you've purchased.
No, that's not
like, if you buy a new car, you don't want it to be the same as an 86 Honda. You want it to be, the 2020.
It depends on the 86.
It does depend on the 86 Honda.
You want it to be the 2020. You want it to be better than the old version.
I think I'm a little weird there, because I don't care if it's better. I just need it to be different. Obviously, it can't be worse, but it just needs to be
you just
different.
Want variety.
Yeah, I want variety,
right.
not necessarily improvement, unless improvement is necessary.
Right.
Like, I don't want the Pokemon games to play like the original Silver and Gold. Not that they're bad games. It's just we can do a lot more than that. Yeah. I don't want 8-bit art and that kind of thing. I do like improvement, but if I don't feel like improvement's necessary, I just need it to be different.
On the 8-bit art and the sprite topic, I think it is so weird that they're still using Pokemon sprites. when you look at your Pokemon lineup.
I think it's kind of neat though.
Yeah,
I
it's,
think
it's definitely a nostalgia thing.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's neat to a degree, but seeing I don't know. Something felt weird to me. Again, I'm disconnected from the series and I'm just coming back, but it felt weird to me pulling up my bag and looking at my Pokedex, my Pokemon, and like, man, this brand new Pokemon is just introduced on this brand new game in 2019 as a 16-bit
strike. Yeah, that's right.
Like, it's not bad, but it's just, it kind of took me back a second. But I am really enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think Pokemon Shield and Sword, respectively, good games.
Yeah.
And
Death Stranding is a good game.
Death Stranding is a good game. Now, on that note, to be clear and fair, I did play. Don't do it. I did play. Let's Go Pikachu. I did play Let's Go Pikachu, and that was remarkably different from the original Pikachu, Pokemon Yellow. But I like some of the things they did with that game. I really like the catch mechanic, which was weird. I'm glad they brought the Pokemon in the overworld, like visible Pokemon in the overworld, to Sword and Shield instead of completely random encounters, because I hated that. That's like, that part of the grind is probably one of the reasons I stopped playing Pokemon. And it's also something that annoys the shit out of me with like the Final Fantasy series, and it hurts me there. So I'm glad that's not a thing when Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out. Like, it takes that random encounter shit out of it.
You like knowing what you're getting into.
I just like seeing it more of not necessarily more of a real time, but seeing what I'm getting into and being able to gauge my playthrough and my expectations a little bit better. Now, for longevity purposes, when I was a kid and Pokemon Yellow was supposed to last me, a year and a half or however long, like, it'd take me to complete that game, which that's extremely hyperbolic, but that was good then. As an adult, I don't have time to grind through shit that same way. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to take 4 steps and be like, I don't want that anymore. Like, I'd rather see what's there and be like, you're not worth my time, or I want to focus on you, and then go from there.
I like it because it's both, because there's still random encounters. They're not gone.
Yeah.
What?
In Sword and Shield, there's still random encounters.
Yeah, if you run through the grass, you'll see a little exclamation mark pop up, and there'll be a grass thing event.
Yeah.
And pretty sure there are certain Pokemon that only show up that way.
They do. That's why I like the random encounters, because you can see the Pokemon out in the wild, but if you really want Pokemon that don't show up there, you have to do the random encounters, which is really cool to me, because I did
not know that.
Yeah, because I like both. I like the random encounters because you're like, what Pokemon am I going to get? A fucking Pidgey, I've seen you 1,000 times. But when you see something new, you're like, yes!
Which is why in Sword, my Wooloo was caught through a random encounter, because I hadn't seen one in 6 hours, so I assumed I just hadn't run into one as a random encounter.
I think that's how I caught my Lotad, but I really just thought it wasn't tall enough to show through the grass. So
there's some Pokemon that you can encounter just running through the grass, and the exclamation will come after you.
That's cool. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes they won't be the ones that can show up in the overworld, which is kind of cool.
I didn't realize there was a change up there. That's kind of weird.
There are apparently specific Pokemon that come from the berry trees as well.
Yeah, I've been jumped on by a squirrel like twice now. Like trying to shake some berries down. But yeah, I think Pokemon Shield is good. Death Stranding is good. So is that what you guys are still playing now? Those two?
Pretty much.
Probably until the end of the year, because I can't think of anything else that's coming out.
Well, tomorrow I get Shenmue 3 since I kickstarted that bitch.
I'm not interested in it. So
man, I loved Shenmue 1 and 2 when I was younger. I have the platinum on Shenmue 1. I know
absolutely nothing about that.
Same. They are just long-winded stories about a Japanese boy who saw his dad die and wanting to get revenge.
I don't have time for games like that anymore, to be honest.
Man,
like I found myself liking short, fun games more than like, because I used to like spending 100 hours in Skyrim and that kind of thing. No, I'm like 20 hours for a campaign, and I can grind reasonably for like a 40-hour game. Sounds perfect. Let's do that.
I drug you guys into my platinum quest for Shenmue. I was hitting up the group chat and be like, man, there's no like speed up of time in this game, and some of the missions you have to do in live game time. So it's like, I'm just going to be waiting 40 minutes of my real day for this event to happen. So I just like pull up my watch in the game and stare at it, like leave that on my screen while I go make dinner or whatever for the family, just so I can see what time it was and know when to go back for what I had to approach. The games are slogs, man. The stories are good, but parts of them just take forever to go through. But I had an investment and attachment to that story, so I'm looking forward to playing Shenmue 3. I did kickstart it, so I'll get my code tomorrow if Yu Suzuki and Kickstarter are to be believed.
That's good.
Yeah,
hopefully that's good. I'm hoping
it's really good.
I appreciate it.
But yeah, just that I've looked at some of the games coming out here. I'm like, I don't think there's I would like to play that, but right now I'm still on Pokemon and Death Stranding.
Fallen Order is definitely a game like I kind of want it, but
it's on the back burner.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I'm like, I don't have anything that I need to finish. Right. So I'll pick up Fallen Order, which unfortunately that means like 4 games.
Yeah, I'll check out Fallen Order eventually, mainly because it's an EA game. So I'm not.
It's made by the only company EA owns that's reliable.
I was not looking forward to purchasing an EA game, as I usually am not. Yeah. However, that means it'll show up on EA Access potentially for like just a membership fee. It'll be in the vault at some point.
As I say, way down the line, because apparently it's not on there, and so is the new Need for Speed.
Yeah, they're not.
JT was talking about that. They actually had the new Need for Speed on there, but took it off.
Yeah, because you could preload it and play it for like 3 days before it launched to see if you wanted it. And you could still buy it with the discount on there, but you had to do it pre-launch.
Yeah, and they took it off, and it's like, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah. Like, so that's just a deal they had going. There are a lot of companies that I'll throw money at before I've actually had my hands on a game. EA's not one of them anymore for what I think are obvious reasons for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But anyway, I mean, eventually I'll get around to playing it because it does look fun. I'm hearing good things about it. It's been in the wild for like 5 days now or something like that. So there's been enough time for it. All right. That's really all we had to run down today. Any last thoughts, Eric?
I'm kind of hungry.
All right, there's that.
A tad bit peckish as well.
All right. You care for a snack?
I could have a snack.
I could have a snack.
I'd have a snack. All right. Thank you for joining us for our first ever Hard at Play here at Roommates Gaming. We look forward to doing more of these. Of course, join us next week for the first episode of the Sausage Tray to come back. Yeah. That's going to be fun. That'll just be a bunch of heebie-jeebie bullshit.
Way less organized.
Oh, yeah, way less
It'll be a lot less organized, and we'll probably be drinking a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of looking forward to
a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
A lot of bit. Find a lot of it. Find a way to get a quiet cooler in here so it's not just like a rattle on the mic.
I'll have
a little bit. All right, I'd have a beer. I think it's got fucking poppers. Man, well, here comes the NDA. Starting off strong. All right. Be sure to check us out on Mondays when our videos go live for our Let's Plays on youtube.com/roommatesgaming. Again, check us out on Facebook and Twitter to find out when we're going to be streaming for the channel. You can find us streaming over on twitch.tv/roommatesgaming.
Yeah, all the links are going to be in the description.
All the links for this will be in the description. And of course, join our Discord and check us out and join our conversation and discussions and our harping and bullshit that we do in there. It's always fun. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
I'm going to keep this short and simple because this is bright. I'm Justin from Roommates Gaming. You just watched our video. We appreciate it. Give us a like, share, comment, subscribe. Watch this, watch that. Just do whatever you want to do from here on out, but give us attention first.